Hi.
Hi.
um Hi guys, welcome to a new episode of For Your Ears podcast, and obviously I'm your host Naomi. You guys should know me already. So today we have a new guest, an amazing guest, and Essie has been in my life for a long time now. We went to the same uni, so I'm not that old, but we've been in each other's life for a while now, and um I just would. I'm excited for this episode because yeah, I've never spoken about it before, so I'm just excited. Essay, please, would you like to introduce yourself?
Okay. Hi guys.
You guys look how fine she's looking, but keep going.
My name my name is Essie. Um I'm a lawyer and I am a sister, daughter, friend, amongst many other things. I'm also a Christian and I'm very excited to be on this podcast. You're looking very beautiful too.
Oh, thank you. So, what are we discussing today? Hmm. Hmm. We're discussing feminism. Yes, you heard that. Should I say it again? Yeah, we're discussing feminism. So we just want to unpack it and, just see the many layers to it. And obviously, for everybody to understand what it's about, it's not just about, submission and all those things. Every time, I don't want to
That
hear
would
it. I don't want to hear it. So I'm just going to be asking her a couple of questions because Essie is a feminist. I don't know why she did not mention that.
yeah.
But she
I was going to
is.
talk about that too.
Mm-hmm. So obviously, like, even being Nigerian women too, like, there's so many annoying things, like, when people talk about it, and we're just here to unpack all of that and discuss that. So I'm excited for this topic. And without further ado, let me just ask the first question. My first question is, I have my questions here. Just looking at me right now. So, what does feminism mean to you, and how has your understanding of it evolved over time? But I think before you even answer that, I think I should ask you the question: why are you a feminist, or why do you?
Um,
Yeah.
I think it would be better if I say what I feel feminism is first before I now tell
Mm-hmm.
you feminist. Why I'm
Yeah.
a feminist.
Okay.
So I believe feminism to be the equality of sexes socially, politically and financially. So basically the social, political and financial equality of the sexes.
Mm-hmm.
And this simple understanding of mine has helped me navigate life in the sense that I know that I'm responsible. I feel certain responsibilities towards myself
Mm-hmm.
as a woman and not just the regular African belief that maybe there's somebody out there that's coming to save me. So I guess being a feminist has made me find value in my work, find value in my opinions, find value in my even social circles amongst my friends and all of that.
Okay. So how has your understanding of it, like, evolved over time? Because I'm sure, like, in the very beginning you
Mm-hmm.
had, like, maybe like base knowledge, but like over time, like, how has it, evolved? Especially for
Okay.
you personally.
Okay. Um, for me, I first came across the idea of feminism while I was in like JSS 3. So I guess I was like
Mm-hmm.
11, 12 at that moment. And um, like probably every other typical Nigerian woman, Chimamanda, right? The novels,
My
the TED
president.
Talk, the
Yeah.
basically everything. And it was such a it was like I would say it was such a defining moment for me as a young person because up until then I've never heard feminism. I've never known who a feminist was.
Mm-hmm.
And I had this idea that all I could be as a woman was growing up was just a wife and a mother. So That's why I use the term while defining a value. So I just knew that, oh, yes, you could probably have a job, but then you'd have someone that would provide for you. So my mind wasn't just open to the idea of me doing things for me or me being by, just your opinions, your voice, and all of that.
Yeah.
But um, having watched the videos and everything, I got into like talking about it with my peers at that time. And yeah, so it kind of started off really clean and pure and like, oh wow, I don't have to just be a wife. The idea of choice now came
Yeah.
into the yeah into the room. And then there was the age of being maybe 15, 16, and the what they call weaponized feminism. So I would admit to even having practiced weaponized feminism. The idea of, oh, a woman can do it all and you don't need a man, and all the rubbish we were being fed by social media.
Yeah. The angry feminists.
The anti-feminists, you always want to show that you can do something. You want to always constantly prove yourself.
Mm, yeah, or the one where it seems like women hate men. I never
Oh,
understood it, but I feel like sometimes too there are like genuine reasons why women hate men, but like
yeah.
not up to the point where you make it like your whole life's life's mission.
But
So
that's the
I
funny
understand where you're coming from.
but that's the funny thing, because when they say feminist or feminism, it doesn't
Hmm.
say for women. It's not a club just for women. So that's
Yeah,
why I understood the concept of a women hating men as feminism, because that's not what it is. At the end
yeah,
of the day, we do have men who are feminists. We do have when men who believe that you know feminism in itself encourages men's right too. So I've never. So yes, there was that stage of angry, being an angry feminist. I think right now the stage I'm in is the what people would call the liberal feminists, or rather the laid back feminists. I've come to understand that feminism as a school of thought, amongst many other schools of thought, like any other thing that just generally contributes to the way you perceive life, is not in the absolute. What do I mean? In fact, that's my own personal belief that nothing in itself is in the absolute. You don't just take everything, you know, as it is. Because you find yourself in different scenarios, different moments with different emotions in different seasons of life, you learn how to apply those school of thoughts.
yeah, yeah. Okay, so I think we've even mentioned some of them, but what are some of the biggest misconceptions about feminism and how do you respond to them?
Okay, so let's do the women hate men. Um, I don't know if I have a definite or like just one particular response to the women hate men narrative, because
Mm-hmm.
often at times it's fueled by um, experiences of sexual assault, experiences of heartbreak, experiences of just genuinely seeing men hate women, like
Mm, mm,
just pure, like you've witnessed it, you've experienced that. Yeah, you've seen come across a lot of men who just hate women. But I think that is also, on knowing that, it now makes me understand that, oh, this is a personal perspective, in terms that they are okay. You see the men hate women folks, and then online, and then you see the daddy's girl folks, where it's like, oh, I have a loving father, oh, I have loving brothers, oh, I have
yeah,
loving friends. You understand? So those people don't believe that. They don't hate the men in their lives because they've had no cause.
yeah. They've had no
You get
cause to hate them.
They've had no cause to hate them, so they don't go about maybe sharing hate or being
Mm-hmm.
reserved. They are quite open because of what they have experienced. So
Yeah.
when I come across the women hate men narrative, I just say those women have different experiences with men, and maybe that fills that perspective. But feminism is not was not built on the foundation of hating men.
Mm. Yeah, so what other misconceptions? I think I don't know if another one is, how, especially, obviously it's only my own experience, like as a Nigerian
Mm-hmm.
woman who has lived in Nigeria, and experience talking to other people about feminism, where people
Mm-hmm.
talk about, bring the whole issue of, women being not submissive, bringing up the whole topic of marriage. Okay, men
Yeah.
should not be women should not be expecting men to do this, and I don't think it intersects with, I don't. It doesn't
Hmm.
intersect with feminism, but I'm like, why do people
Yes.
bring up the issue of marriage submission
Mm-hmm.
anytime a woman comes up with, oh, I want to, explain my views about feminism? I don't think that makes sense. I think that's one misconception that I personally don't like, because I feel everybody should have life skills as a
Mm-hmm.
as a human being. So
Yeah.
having to bring up marriage and submission in a conversation where we're talking about feminism, I don't think that makes sense. Or what do you think?
Marriage is one thing, feminism is another thing. Um, it's not. I don't believe that it's not the same. But your marriage is your reality.
Yeah.
So people often, like you said, it personally confuses me because people would
Mm-hmm.
make references to being a feminist and wanting to, just basic life skills, paying for things, or just general, and then we say, oh, but in a marriage,
Mm.
she doesn't want to pay, or she doesn't, just all those things. But then the institution of marriage is one where you have to share. Then it's one where you have to,
Mm-hmm.
like, so it's such a it genuinely even confuses me. I don't even think I even have an answer to this your question, because to me it's like a round is like is like a square block in a round hole. It doesn't fit.
Mm.
Not to say
Yeah.
that there are places where feminism, there's no, not to say that there's no room for feminism in marriage,
Mm.
but the only way feminism, I believe, comes into the institution of marriage is when um, the person themselves knows how they apply this school of thought. For example, as we know that feminism is a choice, I don't think a woman who is a housewife is a feminist as much as a woman who
Yeah.
works.
Yeah.
So how does that now? Do you get, like, how does the concept, how does the school of thought now is, how is it
Yeah. Yeah.
contradictory to marriage?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
So I actually get you, because you actually, like, most people think that it's so funny sometimes on Twitter. You'd be like, some people. I think I don't even know if there was this lady that, she talked
hmm,
about how she woke up in the morning by 4 a.m. and people were contributing money to her because she said she wakes up by 4 a.m. to cook for her husband. And some people obviously brought up the issue of feminism and how, like, some people still feel like housewives are not feminists. And I'm like, no, like a woman, having that, wanting to have that choice of, oh, I have like equal opportunity, I should have equal opportunity to this other
yes,
gender. That's something. So whether she's
mm-hmm.
working or not, like, I'm so happy that you actually mentioned that, because that whole misconception, that thing like really irritated me during that period. I'm like, you guys don't even understand what's going on here. I think you guys are just trying to, and I think men too also contribute to this whole misconception, because they feel like
Yes, definitely.
I feel most men feel like they have control. They are meant to have control over women. So I think that
Mm.
time they were even donating money to the woman. It was basically them trying to say that, oh, you angry feminist, because people because some men were
Yeah,
tweeting
they're
that, oh,
trying to
you angry
encourage a
feminist.
narrative that, yeah.
And I'm like, no, that's not it.
Mm.
But yeah, I get you. So my next question would be, how does feminism intersect with other social justice movements such as race or LGBTQ equality? I even me when I was coming up with this question, I was like, wow, Naomi. Yeah, because I feel I don't know. Like, I don't know what to think. What?
Mm. About what exactly? Feminism or social justice or the LGBTQ
Yeah,
part?
social justice movements. Let's just classify all of them as social justice movements. Or what do you think?
Oh,
Honestly, like you don't if you don't have an answer, you don't like
oh
actually
wow.
even need to respond because even me, like
I
I
think that
still don't know.
okay. So this is what I think.
Mm-hmm.
Feminism is a school of thought that also fosters um, a good quality of life for both sexes. When you
Mm-hmm.
say social, political, and financial, it means that you're giving everyone, or you believe that everyone has the opportunity to work and be paid their dues,
Yeah.
their wages, sorry. You believe that everyone has the opportunity to vote, to contest, to have opinions about the political issues in the society. You
Mm-hmm.
mean that socially, now this is where it gets twisted for some people because social standards differ from culture to culture, people to people, beliefs to
Yeah.
beliefs. So we're just saying that socially, if it should be acceptable for um, one person to do one thing, yes, it should also be acceptable. It shouldn't come as a shock when the other gender does the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
So how
Yeah.
does this now relate to um, social social justice? Okay, let me say, for example, when there is war
Yeah.
and people start talking about why are women not fighting wars, or why is it that um, war breaks out in a particular place and they are trying to save the women and children.
Mm-hmm.
Why are they not trying to save the men also? And this idea of men staying back to fight, I'm not I'm I'm not sure. That's the thing. I don't want to speak in absolute, but right now with the fact that yes, there are women in the army, navy,
Mm-hmm.
everywhere. So I don't know if it would be too controversial to say um they are saving people and other people are being deployed. So I'm not one of those people that believe that, oh, the worth of maybe a woman's life is more important than the worth of a man's life. Your lives are all important. You
Mm-hmm.
understand?
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
I guess that's one way feminism, I would say, impacts social justice, to say that or the wrong idea of feminism would impact social justice, to say that, oh, only these people should be saved, men should not be saved.
Yeah.
Then another
Yeah.
idea is when it comes to rape.
Yeah.
And it's every time a woman gets raped that they remember that men are being raped. Find
Yes.
one
It's a
random day
stupid,
and talk about
very stupid
being
thing to
raped.
see.
And we will support you because it's happening. Men are being raped by women, men are being raped by men. I know
Mm-hmm.
like a couple of people who have been sexually abused as children, men by their house helps, you know,
Yeah.
all those
Yeah.
other things. When you raise the idea that, oh, feminists it's only when a woman maybe is being raped that people come out. When men are being raped, people don't say anything. Is equivalent to saying, "Oh, there are school shootings in America," and in that moment where they're talking about school shootings in America, you come out and talk about hungry children in Africa. Nobody said the,
Yeah.
it's just the time and the space. That's
Mm-hmm.
just
Mm-hmm.
it. Maybe we should even have more campaign, to show that we actually do support men.
Okay. Don't mind me, Jerry. Okay, so what are some tangible ways people can support feminism in their daily lives?
All education. I say that the um, train a child, train a nation, or train a girl, child, train a nation campaign is doing so well, because I even
Mm-hmm.
experienced it going to school and it's like in your class, that definitely there are more girls than boys. Or it's either that or like a lot of people are just giving birth to women. I can't tell. I don't know right now, but I can't tell. But yes, I'm always happy when I see the education. I'm always happy when I see people rooting for women in politics now.
Mm.
Not to say that, not to say that um, a woman should just be supported, just say just to get a seat. Maybe if she
Yeah, but
doesn't
she also
have
has
the
to be qualified
yeah, she
too.
also has. So we should hold them accountable. Make sure that they are qualified and
Yeah.
they are doing their job.
Not just the
Always
fact that, oh,
happy
she's a
when.
woman, let's give her the opportunity. She also needs to be
Mm-hmm.
qualified for that
Check
position.
that CV, so that when we have representation, it is good representation. It's
Mm-hmm.
not.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a fallacy. It's not looking like a joke.
Yeah.
Another
Yeah.
thing, another thing I like is when we celebrate the women of the past, like this, with Miss Dora Queenie. I don't know if I'm pronouncing
Mm.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love it. I love that. I love when we celebrate Fumilayo Kuti. Like I just love it. And,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
It makes me feel so warm on the inside.
Yeah.
I don't know if I think it's Dr. Dadivo that died during that Ebola thing. I was like,
Yeah.
oh, I think also you're right, like celebrating women of the old, even now, like just
Even
celebrating women in general, we just encourage other, especially I think for feminism, I feel like I'm not saying men shouldn't be feminists. Like I even like if a man is a feminist too, because at least he gets to understand why we are pushing this more, why we are so passionate about this
mm-hmm.
movement. But like I think another thing for me personally would be like for the younger generation coming,
Yeah.
because we want to rewrite a lot of wrongs that have been placed on us, like growing up, like being able to rewrite those things. I think that's something that I would like, also in educating the young you know
Yeah.
girl,
Okay.
telling the young girl about, okay, I know this is somebody, an important woman that did something great and stuff like that. So I think for me it's also like for the younger generation. So because I feel like there are so many women that if
Mm-hmm.
all the things that were institutionalized and also taught to them like growing up, I feel there's so many
Mm-hmm.
women that would have done so much for themselves personally. But I understand where you're coming from.
Yeah.
Because
I feel
mhm,
okay. I feel like we can do like your idea is such a lovely. The best way to encourage the younger generation, to have a positive view on feminism, man, is just to celebrate the women around them, their
yeah,
mothers,
yeah,
sisters, their aunties. You
mhm,
know,
mhm,
to show love to that auntie that probably had a divorce, and not shame them. Things like
guy,
that. Things like showing, to show love to that auntie or sister that may be doing the unconventional thing, which in African, which may be not getting married or being able to
yeah,
have children or not even being able to have children. Another thing we can do is, encouraging um, um, financial literacy amongst women. I think financial Jennifer
yeah.
did a great job. I love her so much. Don't do. Like
Who?
just educating financial Jennifer, she's a chartered stockbroker. She's really
Oh
into
wow.
like I always see her post on Instagram, and it's like, invest from stocks to all those
Mm,
things. So
mm,
it's
yeah.
such good work. It is
Wow.
such good work. So recognizing women like that,
Even the lady that started like Money Africa, she too, she's
yeah.
like so on about, like, as a woman, you should, you
Hmm.
know, you should know about like financial stuff, like how can I invest, where can I invest, stuff like that. So yeah, it's really nice. It's really nice to see those things and at least have the platform to be able to encourage people
Yeah.
and younger people coming up too. So, what role does pop culture play in shaping feminist discourse, and do you think it's helping or hurting the movement? I say movement.
Yeah. It is. Well, feminism once upon a time was, such a strong movement.
Mm,
You're right. Um, Personally, I don't know. I don't think that. Um, they say we should not be saying I don't know as lawyers. That's crazy. But this is my view. This is why I say I don't know, because for me it's neither here or there.
mm,
The thing is, um, it's neither here or there because pop culture, yes, supports women. I mean, look at the recent Grammys, Thames and Beyonce, and yeah. So everybody, but then there is another aspect of you know pop culture which women in the spotlight, women who are superstars, also call attention to, which is like maybe they have to look a certain way to grab a
Mm.
certain attention. You have to be funny and bitchy at the same time. There's just certain narratives that pop culture rolls out. For example, I personally, with the Wicked interviews by Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande, I personally enjoyed all the hand holding and crying. And I mean, because when you think about it, those women, like, it was a dream come true for them. It was such a huge deal. And then and then it was like pop culture, everybody on TikTok laughing at them, like, making all these funny memes. And it was just so crazy because these women are just happy women. So, to me, I don't know if pop culture,
And you know what's
yes,
so
yes,
funny? Well, I haven't watched Wicked. I haven't watched it at
yes,
all.
I haven't,
But
I haven't
seeing
watched
two
it
of
yet.
them like that, that's how I would talk, like how I can hold my friend's hand, my female friend's hand, and we're
Yeah.
all being emotional together. Like that is a normal thing. So you actually, I get
Oh,
what you're saying, where you're like,
mhm,
you enjoyed it because, like, when two women are happy, like, how when women are together and we
mhm.
express ourselves, like, it's always so emotional.
Yeah,
Some of us can even start
we
crying,
laugh, we
and I'm
cry,
like, that's
you
how it
know.
is. I get you. I get you. Ah, but
So I
this
got
this
there.
this internet is so funny. So looking ahead, what do you think are the most
Oh,
pressing issues for feminism today and in the future? I conclude with that question.
oh, um, the idea of identifying as a feminist.
Hmm.
Now, you pointed out something. You said when
Yeah,
I introduced myself, I introduced myself as a couple of things, but I didn't introduce myself as a feminist, which I
yeah.
am, and it's because I wanted to call attention to the fact that um, people have made find if as a feminist such a bad thing. Now,
Mm,
not even as a bad thing as I would say, but such a big bad thing, and it's it's now very confusing, or would say would be confusing later on for the younger generation to say,
mm.
oh, you know, I'm a feminist, or having being yes, just the dark cloud that seems to hover around being called one, or
Or
even
being one.
identifying as one in this day
Yeah.
and time. And I think that we should learn that in every year. We should learn in every school of thought. Yeah. In every school of thought, in every movement, in every ideology, there is the good and bad,
Mm.
right? There is the light side, there is the dark side, there are people in between. Now, when someone calls themselves a feminist, your 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 bias shouldn't the bias shouldn't be on the name. You should actually wait to discover, oh, what kind of feminist are you? What are your beliefs? So
Mm-mm.
you know
Yeah.
what are so that it also helps you get to know these people, and like, oh, I don't think I believe in her view of feminism, that kind of thing, and just totally scratching out the name. And also, you see this done with Christians, when it's like somebody opens their mouth and the person says he's a Christian, just generally, just attributing negative things, just only negative things to a school of thought. That's, for
Mm.
me, that's wild. And another thing is women who women who only identify as feminists. Now, on the long run, that's why I said when I was introducing myself, I said, yes, I'm a lawyer, I'm a daughter, I'm a sister, amongst many other things. When you rope yourself into just being one thing, especially something that the world is truly yet to understand or yet to truly
Yeah.
accept, or still has controversy all around it. When you um just solely identify as that one thing, I don't think it gives people the opportunity to um, see you as other things. You are not just one thing. That's why I love to tell the women around. You are not just one thing. You
Mm-hmm.
are every other thing and anything in between. As long as you choose to identify as it too. But yeah, you are many things. You are not just a feminist. You are a feminist that possibly is a single mom. In fact, you are a feminist as a husband and you enjoy going
Mm-hmm.
on dates.
Yeah. Ah, thank you so much, Essay, for coming on the podcast. I really appreciate all the things you said. I enjoyed this conversation and I hope you did too. And yeah, bye guys till the next one. And peace and love. Bye.